Hey guys, Dastro here, and we are joined live, well not really live, but on recording and such, Penny Arcade Expo Prime in Seattle. What day is it? It's the 30th of August.
It's Friday.
And I'm joined with a bunch of special guests, and this will be posted on a bunch of people's channels, so it's not like this is my video, this is our video. Let's go right down the line and just talk about who we are real quick. Brett, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, so I'm Brett FX. I have a very small channel compared to the rest of these guys, but I do competitive gaming, cast mostly, a free cam cast. You can go check out my channel for all that kind of stuff. But PAX was awesome. It's huge. It's big. I've never been to an event like this before. I'm going to go right into it for some negatives. BF4 was a huge disappointment. There you go. Got it off my chest. I feel better now because all you guys.
Why was it a disappointment? So just give us the TLDR before we go through the list. Who else is here?
So BF4, because these guys.
Maybe we should have saved this.
Yeah, actually, before you go into it, you're gonna go first. You're gonna go first on what it is. We gotta introduce everyone else first. Man, please go next. But I know you're passionate. So let's just wait. Let's go.
All right, I'm Manus701. I'm the guy that knifes all the pub stars, and yes, BF4 was also a big disappointment for me at PAX for various reasons. Now, that doesn't mean it's bad, and I'm not going to buy it or anything. I'm obviously very excited for Battlefield 4, but the way they did it at PAX was terrible.
All right.
Before we get to all that here.
All right, I am Jake, also known as In the Works, and the best game at PAX was Pikmin 3. But yeah, Battlefield 4 was pretty disappointing, and it was because it was on the Xbox One.
Everyone's gonna ask. Okay, we gotta get into it. So, Brett, you can go first. Why was it disappointing?
Okay, so basically, I'm going to talk to the camera. Basically, in my opinion, it had a series of things of why it was bad. One, the biggest one, which is exactly what you just mentioned, was the fact that it was on an Xbox One. Well, it was on PC.
It wasn't even on an Xbox.
It was running on a 7970 PC build with an Xbox
That's right.
One emulator.
That's right. It was on a PC with an emulator, but it had an Xbox controller. Sorry for all you Xbox guys out there. I am a PC player along with the rest of these guys. He's playing Xbox a lot. But anyways, it was terrible controls. It was horrid. Two, they only had 12 stations up. I'm not kidding you guys. Out of 20 stations, they only had 12 of them up and running. And out of the server, which was 64-man large on the China Rising map? Siege of Shanghai map. And it was a 64-man server on large with only 12 people in it. So
I think they had bots or something though, because oh yeah, I guess I should take that. I did notice that they had, like, if you looked at the scoreboard, there was all the PAX players, but then there was like a bunch of Pokemon names like Bulbasaur and like Squirtle,
Charizard, and Raikou.
I don't know if they were, just filling spaces in the server, but I'm pretty convinced that they may have had other people playing. I don't know. I saw 2 people in a 10-minute span, and I kid you not. I went 2-0 in my play session, and I was in the tank. So, which you could not.
Oh yeah, talk about the tank.
The tank, you can't actually destroy it in this build because
Why can't you destroy it?
you cannot remove. Or you cannot change anything on your loadout. It was just, you could, the CZ, what is it, 705 or whatever, the Scorpion is the engineer weapon that you had, the Scorpion, which is in Black Ops 2. That was all you had. You had a pistol, obviously, but you didn't have an RPG, you didn't have a small. And so if you got in the tank, or any vehicle for that matter, you were invincible.
Well, because there was no other option.
Yeah, you can't even actually get...
Except for the enemy.
And you couldn't actually get into the boat, which was weird.
Yeah, I tried to get in the boat for like a minute, and it would say press E to get in the boat, but we weren't using keyboards. We were using Xbox controllers, and I'm pressing every single button on the Xbox controller, and I couldn't get in the boat. Now, I don't know if that was my fault or...
The worst... The worst thing about the demo that I actually had was that, they always say like, people camp a lot in Battlefield. Well, the group we were in got the bright idea. I don't know if they had played the game before, but they went upstairs in the actual tall building in Siege of Shanghai or whatever. Before it fell down, they camped the elevators with LMGs. They bipoded up. I kid you guys not. They bipoded up and they sat and they watched the elevators. So as you came up, there was a dude just sitting there waiting for you with an LMG to mow you down. And I never thought I would see that at like a media event like PAX, but these people had some advanced tactics that we were not aware of. So
you're going up the elevator like in the trailer.
Yeah.
And the moment you get up, you get mowed down and you feel...
And we had just been talking about how I hate elevators in first-person shooters, and these people proved me right. And if I would have been recording, that would have been the perfect example of, why elevators don't belong in a first-person shooter. So...
that was complete opposite of me. It was complete opposite of me. There weren't any bots or other people, and there was only 12 people in the server. That was it. So, I couldn't find any. It was like you said, you found 2 people. I found like 2 people as also, and I got my ass shot off because it was an Xbox controller. I couldn't hit shit.
And there was something wrong with it. It's not so much that it was just an Xbox build. Now, I can play Xbox. I have over 100 hours played on Xbox. The problem with it is it seemed like the alpha build that they had at PAX was like unfinished to the point where the auto aim was actually like pushing you away. Like I would aim at someone and the recoil would like pull you away, or it would go down, which I don't know if you've ever fired a weapon. I've never had a weapon go down like that. It was really
Yeah, I haven't either.
it was kind of strange, and like I didn't know how to compensate for a weapon going down and to the right, and like I would stop and the people behind me were laughing because I was sitting here struggling with the recoil, and I'm like, I turned around and looked at him like, I promise you guys I know how to play this game, and it's like
I'm not a moron.
it's like the recoil just kept going down. I'm like, why?
Stupid. I felt so stupid and embarrassed because I don't think I've touched a console controller. Well, the last console I owned was the Nintendo 64. That's how long it's been.
You're talking about decades now at this point.
Yeah. And I got on there with an Xbox controller, and I looked like a fucking moron. Like, I couldn't hit the broadside of anything. Like, I couldn't kill anything.
There was something wrong with the auto aim. There definitely was something wrong with the auto aim.
I was just bad.
It was like
I did actually manage to shoot one guy and knife one guy, so I got 2 kills.
That's not bad.
I got a
Yeah.
knife. I forgot about that. I did get a knife.
I would have been better off just running around with just my knife because I could not aim. But yeah.
Yeah, in total it was that and the fact that the other thing that bugged me, and this is going to be stupid, but the people who were working the event, and I think you said it, was that they weren't actually people who worked. Yeah, they were just EA people.
Well, actually, no, they were Xbox One people.
Okay. But anyways, they did not seem excited to be there. They were very like
frustrated. They were frustrated.
Come on, come on. And I know that they've been there for a while.
This is day one, though. This is day one at PAX.
Not only is it day one, but
like 6 or 7 of the computers
shut
off.
Yeah, because they crashed. But not only that, but aren't you supposed to show some excitement for the? I mean, you're supposed to pump up the crowd, right? It's Battlefield 4.
I mean, I went to the Nintendo booth, and like the lady who obviously she's not there. She doesn't work for Nintendo. She's a contractor. Because most of the people they hire at gaming events are like, they contract out like, hey, we need 50 people to run X booth. And they brief them the day before, and they're like, hey, you need to be enthusiastic about this. This is the game we have. Well, the people at the Nintendo booth were telling me like these in-depth things about the release dates, and she was super excited for the the release of this new game. And I'm like, wow, I mean, this is, even at like, we went and saw, what was the game, Extraction. The people there were contracted to do that game, and they were very enthusiastic about it.
Did a good job.
Whereas with the Xbox One people, they were just like, yeah, we're here. They were talking about their Animal Crossing towns more than they were about Battlefield 4. So,
awesome. Yeah, and then so like, I guess enough about the negative, because we just bash the living crap out of Battlefield 4
No,
at
it's not that
PAX.
it was a bad game.
Yeah.
It's just
It was the way they set it up. It was very pitiful
it was
compared
a
to
waste of time.
yeah, compared to what we've seen on Twitch.
We waited in line over an hour. And
Yeah.
it was not worth it.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that I am most excited about, and I'm going to move on to the game that I was most excited with that I've played, was Titanfall. That was a lot of fun, and the complete opposite of the Battlefield 4 booth. They had all stations running. They had a line that was moving very fast. You guys, 10-minute. It's a 10-minute session, right? Yeah. I played with Dashgro on it, and it was a lot of fun to play. Very fast paced. Definitely reminds you of Call of Duty, but that's because the guys who actually made one of the Call of Duty games came from Call of Duty, so it makes a lot of sense. But very, very fluid in the movement. The mechs work really. They were on a timer, correct? Yes. They were on a timer, but that timer goes down as you kill and.
They don't run out of energy. It's a timer to deploy, and so you have a fixed. Making up numbers here, 2 minutes for every time that the Titan can cycle through after it dies. But if you do a lot of things like kill a lot of enemies or kill a lot of AI or other things that help
Assists,
your team,
anything that's
it
points.
may go from 2 minutes to a minute 50 or a minute 40. And so you can actually accelerate that time to redeploy if you are being a good teammate.
Yeah, and it was really cool to work. And we even had some really good players working with us. But the other neat thing was the fact that they had bots in it.
Yes.
And so it's not just based on you killing another actual player, but there's bots in there that you can get. It's very small point wise, but you can rack up points on there to help you get those Titans, to help get the objective down. And that was really cool. A lot of fun to play. Looking forward to that game. And also the people who are running it, we're incredibly excited about it. The manager, the product manager that we talked to was, like I said, the complete opposite. He was enthusiastic. He told us as much as we possibly could know. But that game, be looking forward to that game. I mean, you guys should seriously go to that next. So, anyways, there you go.
Yeah, I do want to play Titanfall as well. I did watch a couple matches, but I didn't get in line to play it yet. But I do want to play it, even though if I do, it's going to be on a Xbox controller again, and then I'm probably gonna be really awful at that too.
Did you even get a kill?
I did. I did get some kills. Thank you.
I was top of the leaderboard, by the way.
Yeah, Brett.
He was not.
Yeah, Brett was top of the leaderboard. I played for a bit, and eventually I changed my controls. They were inverted, and I reverted them, so to speak. But
they were inverted. That's kind of weird.
But I was bottom of the leaderboard. I got 12 deaths in there. I flew the Titan a few times, and I did the shield thing. That was cool. But I felt like.
Did you do some parkour?
I felt like I did some parkour.
It was cool, yeah.
It was some cool stuff, but I felt I'd say 8 of my 12 deaths were. So every character gets a primary gun to shoot infantry, a secondary gun to like a pistol. I'm good, and I'm good. I got another mic, 2 mics, guys. And it's all right. And you get a third gun. That third gun is an anti-Titan gun, like a rocket launcher, or an anti.
Lock onto it, kind of, right?
Well, one of them does. I had.
Each of the 3 classes have their own variation.
Yeah. So it's like one's an auto lock-on rocket launcher, so like a javelin. One's like a
10-round burst.
A 10-round burst. One's like an auto cannon. And so I'm thinking, all right, I got the auto cannon. I can definitely take out or at least damage these Titans, because these Titans take damage and they only have a certain amount of health. And I'd say 8 of the 10 or 8 of the 12 of my deaths were me. Basically at ground level, walking up the side of a Titan, blasting it, and then it not dying, and then it turning around, and then one-shotting me and blowing me up.
Sounds like a Battlefield 3 tank.
It didn't feel like that. I was on the wrong end of that. But I noticed that though towards the end, the players that were actually like jumping onto the top of the buildings and shooting like from above to below were actually being more effective and not getting insta killed.
I think the downward projectiles do more damage.
It does. It felt like it.
If you looked at it too, the Titans, the front of them had a red blinking.
Yeah.
If you hit that, it did more damage. And on the back of it, it had a red like tube and it did more damage.
Yes. That is right, but I'm a slow learner at times, and so I died a lot trying to, because I felt like I was getting shots down. I felt like I was, I even with the controller it was difficult, but I felt like I was doing good. So most of my deaths were not from other infantry dudes. A few of them were, but most of them were from the Titan, literally looking at me and then me going, "Oh shit!" And then it just.
That sounds a lot better than Battlefield 4. Because it sounds like you actually saw people.
Yeah, I did. I saw a lot of people.
Because the problem with Battlefield 4 is that there was no one to shoot.
No. What about Evolution though? Where did you get experience?
No, we didn't even bring down the building. That's how bad.
Is that because you couldn't equip C4?
We couldn't equip C4. We couldn't bring down the building. I think this is like a bare bones, hey, here, have a little taste build or something.
Yeah, it was like the last second. Oh crap! PAX is coming up after Gamescom. We might want to send some people over.
Well, I remember they thought that no one was. When we first went over to the EA booth, all we saw was Plants vs Zombies 2, and we were like, oh.
Oh, that's not even here.
And then and I was like, well, I think it's probably on the other side because when I played Battlefield 3 here, 2011, because this is my third PAX, you know, it was on the other. They had Battlefield separate from like their main games. Which they claimed that Dragon Age was here too, and that was another EA game, but I haven't seen that yet, and I've seen the whole floor. I don't think it's here. But anyways, they had it separate, pushed off to the side, and it was kind of like I think Xbox One technically brought Battlefield 4 because I think they're really pushing the next gen games, and Battlefield 4 shows off the engine, even though for whatever reason the Xbox One was running with a 7970. It was a PC. Like I took a picture of it.
The Xbox was running.
Yeah, I took a picture of it. It was Dice Computer 32 is what it said on the label, and it was it basically looked like my PC. It had a 7970 in it. It was liquid cooled. It had a really awesome, you know, what's the name of the brand? Corsair. You know,
like
motherboard in there, gaming edition.
Yeah.
And it had this really awesome lighting throughout it, like a red lighting, and it had the Battle Juice stuff that they were using for the liquid cooling.
What's Battle Juice?
It's like the liquid cooling. It's some fancy
special.
It's like a gel almost. But anyways, that was their Xbox One, and yeah.
That I actually asked the guy, can I use that?
And he's like, no.
Controller, and he's like, no.
But at the end of the day, it was a PC running Windows 7 with an Xbox One controller, running at really crappy frame rate. I think we were getting 30 frames per second on this build, if that.
So how was the retaliation?
Retaliation?
The
Extraction.
Yeah.
Extraction, I was pretty impressed with. They had a very large booth, and I actually
That's
had
actually one of the largest booths.
Yeah, it was a really big booth, actually. I think it went. All the people, they were very enthusiastic. They had a line. They gave out free T-shirts, free posters, and you got to sign up for the beta.
And you got this.
Yeah,
Is that a poster?
that was the poster. There's a nice yellow T-shirt right here. Yeah, that. But yeah, probably never gonna wear that. But I had not heard of it before. But it was a objective based game. It was 5v5. You had 5 classes to choose from, and we got to play a good amount of time. We got to play on the attacking side and the defending side. And the map we played on, the attacking team had to hack some sort of system and then blow up a train car, so you would make a train crash so you could steal like data cards or something that spilled out of it. Yeah, that's what the attacking team did, and the defending team would have to stop that from happening. But you know, it was 5v5, so it could work in a competitive setting. And it was very easy to pick up and play because it had a lot of the elements that Battlefield has. Like one class threw ammo boxes down and had an assault rifle and called in airstrikes, and another class had a shotgun and put down proximity mines. Another class had a medic that threw down medic packs and rezzed people, just like Battlefield. And it was very easy to pick up and play. It was very smooth. It looked good. It was a very smooth, easy to play game. Like, it was easy to jump into, and it was easy to pick. It was easy to learn real quick. And my team actually wrecked. Like, we did really honestly, we did really good. There was and we all had headphones too with mics, and we were all talking to each other too.
Yeah,
like right off the bat. Yeah, and they had one of the developers, I guess, was on the mic too, telling us how to play too. Yeah, he was.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's sweet.
Yeah, because I'll tell you, when we were doing Titanfall, we all had Astros on. There wasn't a coach. It was just me and Brett and two other dudes.
I think me and you were the only one talking.
Yeah, we were the only ones yelling.
Anybody else?
And really, it was you. You know, speaking in utter elation after getting all these kills, and then me just dropping f-bombs every time I died from the.
I think the only time I actually was like trying to be helpful about halfway through the game was, Dastro, they're over here.
Here, I'm getting him.
Like red dots.
Yes,
Go.
so yeah, we had a developer. Whenever someone had a question, you could just talk into the mic, and the developer would tell us what to do.
That is cool.
And there was one of my teammates was actually a cocky bastard. He was like two things down from me, and he was talking trash. Like, he was like, "Oh yeah, get wrecked, you guys suck, bunch of noobs." He was talking trash.
He's talking about a game that doesn't even come out yet.
Yeah, I know.
What a dick.
He was being a
Wait, the dude on
the. He was two computers down from me. Like,
no, he was. I know who he was. He was the guy wearing the Pokemon backpack.
I don't know.
Yeah, I saw.
But
he went 21.
He was talking,
so he's allowed to talk.
But
smack.
yeah, our team was doing
with his Pikachu backpack.
Oh, he had like 6 different Pokemon in there. It was like a whole. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I actually.
Boy, that's fucking weird. Wow, that's weird.
Yeah.
The Pokemon fan who's really good at FPS games and loves to talk smack. That's almost like, I mean, not to derail this, but at Penny Arcade Expo in Boston, I was part of the, I was part of that NBA Jams on Fire edition.
That was fun to watch.
And there was a random Asian dude, very reminiscent of the Hangover movies, who loved playing. Who loved NBA Jams and loved talking mad smack to everyone.
You like NBA Jam?
Well, this was for
the Omega.
This was for the Megathon contest.
Oh, all right.
And it was so weird. This guy was so into it and was like bashing on everyone for choosing LeBron, and it was fierce. But nevertheless, funny how these PAX personalities come out, but keep on going though. Sorry, I just wanted to mention that.
I really enjoyed it. It was fun to play. It was easy to pick up, like I said. I'm sure I'll be checking out the beta when it comes out. Maybe you'll see it on my YouTube channel. I don't know, I think it was it closed?
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, well, I think it was made by the same people that made Brink.
Was that made by Splash Damage and Nixon?
Yeah, Splash
Damage and Nixon. So if you haven't heard of that, look it up. It was.
Brink was an awesome game.
Yeah. That's hard. I for those that missed Brink, good. It was not a great game.
The commercials were the best part.
They were the best part. Yeah.
I did not actually play.
They have watermelons coming out of their
Shit. We'll have to
play the fried chicken and then
okay, we're gonna have to put that video in post for this video, just saying, or else you're gonna not get the reference. Gung Ho energy supplements, but anyway,
it's not affiliated with this video.
Yes. Anyway, let's keep on going. Any other thoughts about PAX that anyone wants to talk about?
I mostly played Nintendo stuff, so I.
What did you like about Nintendo stuff?
I don't know. I mean, I like Nintendo. They had like a scavenger hunt for Wind Waker HD, which I participated in. But Pokemon was actually really cool. I'm actually
back on the subject.
I actually really enjoyed playing that. It was a 3D Pokemon, which is like what we've wanted for the last since we were like little kids.
It's like a 3D Pokemon Blue or something. Or?
No, it's just Pokemon XY. It's called. They don't do colors anymore. Come on.
They moved on.
As in XY, like XY chromosome, or
exactly.
XY axes? Like
It's
3D?
chromosomes. The Pokemon in this are based on like genetic type stuff.
Okay.
So kind of interesting. This is probably the boringest part of the video, so I won't spend much time on it.
Is this part of the fairy Pokemon versus dragon?
Yeah, I did KO a Dragonite with my fairy Pokemon in one hit.
Got it. It's genetics
Yeah.
that does it.
Uh,
Brought to you by Monsanto.
Stretching with that.
I mean,
based out of St. Louis, Missouri.
based out of St. Louis, Missouri. Oh shoot! It's all marking dots. Good. I like that.
I think other than that, I think the only games I played other than Nintendo today were Battlefield 4 and I wanted to play Elder Scrolls Online, but the line was just horrific. It was like a 2-hour wait is what they estimated. I haven't even had a chance to play Titanfall yet. I did play some Battlefield 3, oddly enough. And if you were in a random canal server, I probably killed you with the M16, which I never used the M16, but I figured I was at PAX and I was under pressure. I needed to perform with the best weapon possible. But I was trying out the Stinky board, which is like a foot paddle, and I was trying it with different things with the Magnum and the M16.
So you like an auto switch to
So
the
like
Magnum?
a quick switch to the Magnum, which actually, if I was recording, I actually got 3 or 4 instances where it actually was useful, which kind of surprised me. So it was actually interesting. I think it would be more based for like a flying type role. Like if you wanted to put like your pitch up and down. So like if you want to drop the aircraft, especially for helicopters, you want to drop the aircraft down, because one thing when I fly is I have space bars nose down. And then nose up, I don't know what it's on actually. I think I may only have space bars nose down, but it's actually really useful if you're trying to go through buildings, or you're just trying to make like if a stinger locks on you and you get behind something, you want to go nose down right away and you can get behind it. I think that board would be useful in that scenario. I'm not so sure about infantry. I would have to have more time with it, get more used to it. It's really difficult to use with your shoes on, though. Yeah, I almost say it's nearly impossible with a shoe on. You need to have your socks or barefoot. I mean, that's why they call it the stinky board, I'm sure.
Yes.
But
let's keep on going. I was just gonna. I did the same thing. I used the stinky board as well, and I did do some infantry. When you've been playing FPSs with the same controls for many years, obviously it's very difficult to do. But it's a board you put on the ground. You use your foot on it. You can push it forward, backward, and side to side. I had my heel as crouch, and pushing it forward was sprint, and the side to side was originally like knife and like something else, which I really didn't like. But he changed it to the weapon switching to like pistols and your primary, and that wasn't so bad. But
what about using it for like push to talk?
you could do that.
That could, if you can do that.
You guys, but for competitive play, you need push to talk.
I
because
use
you're in the circle.
I use push to talk on my mouse, but if you could do that to the stinky board, I could see that being.
Before we have built-in VoIP. Brought to you by Dice.
Yes.
It was funny. Like, I actually saw someone I knew in the server I was in playing BF3, and I was like, "Oh, hey," and he's like, "Who the hell is this?"
We were in a Brazilian server.
Was I?
We were in I was in a Spanish server. Oh, you were in.
We were in different servers. I was I was on an Aftermath server. I was on Talau Market.
Yeah, I had
actually.
to play Canals. I'm like, I haven't done this before.
But yeah, we got cards from the creator of the Stinky board, because Darkness 429 and Battlefield Podcast actually did a review on it. So maybe he'll send us a couple of those boards, and maybe we'll give them away or review them or something. We'll see what happens.
Brett.
Honestly, there's not a whole lot left for me to talk about. I didn't really get to see a whole lot. I was with Dashro a lot of the day, kind of making my rounds to a lot of the product companies and seeing what we could get. And he got a freaking steal on some Cooler Master stuff. But so that's I mean that's about all I saw. Looking forward to tomorrow. I'm probably gonna go straight through to the Titanfall booth again, and we're gonna check out the game that you were talking about, which was what? I keep wanting to call it Retaliation. Extraction. I'm gonna check that out, and it was pretty cool. It's huge. It's massive. So a lot of stuff to do here.
right, my comments. So I actually didn't play Battlefield 4 on the Xbox One PC mix hybrid thing. I played a lot. Did play Titanfall with Brett, and that was a lot of fun. Even though that I did really bad, but I feel like if I would have had, I feel like I was a team player, and I wasn't clustering the comms too much. But if I had a mouse and keyboard, I think it would have been a whole lot better. But
if you were playing Modern Warfare 3, you would have been rewarded with stealth bombs.
Yes, I would have been. Yes, or whatever. But I am going to play Titanfall again. That was a lot of fun. I also, this is kind of an odd thing. I did get recognized really early in PAX.
What was his name?
His name was Blind Spider. So Blind Spider, if you're watching this, thank you for saying hello. If any of you see me, say hello. I had a great conversation with him. Just talking about competitive Battlefield. It was a lot of fun.
Blind Spider would be very unfortunate.
They
have like 10 eyes.
They do have 10 eyes, but they also have the furry things on their arms and stuff, and so they still have that tactile feel to it. But
I'm not a spider person.
That was kind of cool. That was a pleasant surprise. But nonetheless, though, really looking forward to more Titanfall. Hopefully they have.
I'm actually looking forward to more PC tournaments.
There
They
you go.
tend to do PC tournaments throughout the week.
Yeah,
sorry. Go ahead.
No, keep on going. I don't think.
No, I just was saying, I think throughout the week they may do actually some more PC
Yes.
side tournaments that I'd be interested in playing in. I know they have a CSGO one going, but not really interested in that.
No, yeah, TF2 and QWOP. QWOP's tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, they have a TF2 one?
Yeah, they have TF2.
TF2. And,
I wouldn't mind playing in that.
as I was telling Brett, I'd love to hear a competitive commentator do commentary on QWOP.
Hey, you know what? I almost did a commentary on the Eurythmics match the other day on the live scoreboard. So
Yes.
I was that bored.
But anyway.
Yes. Anyway, let's just call this video. A cut. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys later.
Peace.
And I couldn't get in the boat. Now, I don't know if that was my fault or...
You know, the worst...
The
worst thing about the demo that I actually had was that, they always say, people camp a lot in Battlefield. Well, the group we were in got the bright idea. I don't know if they had played the game before, but they went upstairs in the actual tall building in Siege of Shanghai or whatever. Before it fell down, they camped the elevators with LMGs. They bipoded up. I kid you guys not. They bipoded up and they sat and they watched the elevators. So as you came up, there was a dude just sitting there waiting for you with an LMG to mow you down. And I never thought I would see that at a media event like PAX, but these people had some advanced tactics that we were not aware of. So
you're going up the elevator like in the trailer.
Yeah,
and the moment you get up, you get mowed down, and you feel.
And we had just been talking about how I hate elevators in first-person shooters, and these people proved me right. And if I would have been recording, that would have been the perfect example of why elevators don't belong in a first-person shooter. So,
that was complete opposite of me.
Hey guys, Dastro here, and we are joined live. Well, not really live, but on recording and such. Penny Arcade Expo Prime in Seattle. What day is it? Is it? It's the 30th of August.
It's Friday.
And I'm joined with a bunch of special guests. And this will be posted on a bunch of people's channels, so it's not like this is my video. This is our video. Let's go right down the line and just talk about who we are real quick. Brett, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, so I'm Brett FX. I have a very small channel compared to the rest of these guys. But I do competitive gaming, cast mostly, a free cam cast. You can go check out my channel for all that kind of stuff. But PAX was awesome. It's huge. It's big. I've never been to an event like this before. I'm going to go right into it for some negatives. BF4 was a huge disappointment. There I go. Got it off my chest. I feel better now because all you guys.
Why was it a disappointment? I mean, so just give us a TLDR before we go through the list of who else is here.
So BF4, because these guys.
maybe we should have saved this.
Yeah, actually, before you go into it, you're gonna go first. You're gonna go first on what it is. We gotta introduce everyone else first. So, Man, please go next. But I know you're passionate. So let's just wait. Let's go.
All right, I'm in a 701. I'm the guy that knifes all the pub stars, and yes, BF4 was also a big disappointment for me at PAX for various reasons. Now, that doesn't mean it's bad, and I'm not going to buy it or anything. I'm obviously very excited for Battlefield 4, but the way they did it at PAX was terrible.
All right.
Before we get to all that here.
All right, I am Jake, also known as In the Works, and the best game at PAX was Pikmin 3. But yeah, Battlefield 4 was pretty disappointing, and it was because it was on the Xbox One.
Everyone's gonna ask. Okay, we got to get into it. So, Brett, you can go first. Why was it disappointing?
Okay, so basically, I'm going to talk to the camera. Basically, in my opinion, it had a series of things of why it was bad. One, the biggest one, which is exactly what you just mentioned, was the fact that it was on an Xbox One. Well, it was on PC.
It wasn't even on an Xbox.
It was running on a 7970 PC build with an Xbox
That's right.
emulator.
That's right. It was on a PC with an emulator, but it had an Xbox controller. Sorry for all you Xbox guys out there. I am a PC player along with the rest of these guys. He's playing Xbox a lot. But anyways, it was terrible controls. It was horrid. Two, they only had 12 stations up. I'm not kidding you guys. Out of 20 stations, they only had 12 of them up and running. And out of the server, which was 64-man large on the China Rising map? Siege of Shanghai map. And it was a 64-man server on large with only 12 people in it. So
I think they had bots or something though, because I did. Oh yeah, I guess I should take that. I did notice that they had, like, if you looked at the scoreboard, there was all the PAX players, but then there was like a bunch of Pokemon names like Bulbasaur and like
Yeah,
Squirtle,
Charizard, and Raikou.
I don't know if they were, just filling spaces in the server, but I'm pretty convinced that they may have had other people playing. I don't know. I saw 2 people in a 10-minute span, and I kid you not. I went 2-0 in my play session, and I was in the tank. So, which you could not.
Oh yeah, tell about the tank.
The tank, you can't actually destroy it in this build because
Why can't you destroy it?
you cannot remove or you cannot change anything on your loadout. It was just, you could, the CZ, 705 or whatever, the Scorpion is the engineer weapon that you had, the Scorpion, which is in Black Ops 2. That was all you had. You had a pistol, obviously, but you didn't have an RPG, you didn't have a small. And so if you got in the tank, or any vehicle for that matter, you were invincible.
Well, because there was no other option.
Yeah, you can't even actually get...
Except for the enemy.
And you couldn't actually get into the boat, which was weird.
Yeah, I tried to get in the boat for like a minute, and it would say press E to get in the boat, but we weren't using keyboards. We were using Xbox controllers, and I'm pressing every single button on the Xbox controller.